This is what a week at Hacksmith Industries looks like.
Chapter 5 of our Mandalorian video, it kind of looks like this.
Hey guys, and welcome to our very first new weekly vlog series. In this episode, we're going to be seeing a bit more about the behind-the-scenes fun that happens here at Hacksmith Industries, how co-ops find their first projects, some interesting behind-the-scenes footage of our Mandalorian series we're doing, Hacksmith shenanigans, and other stuff that you might not think happens here at Hacksmith Industries. Anyways, this is a new format for us, so let us know in the comments below what you think and what you'd like to see more of on the vlog channel.
Hello, Chris.
Oh, hi there.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
So, what's that stuff on your desk?
Well, I decided to do something from one of my favorite video games. Just a little spare time to design stuff, but I made what's called a switch axe. So I started with very, I guess, basic design, just an outline to see if I could actually make it in Solidworks. It's basically just a sword that goes around like that, and then the axe portion comes up like that. So then I decided to model it against one of my, I guess, favorite monster swords, which is Brachiotis. So I made this first iteration of it. Didn't really work so well. The little nubs for the tracks came off, but I got the idea of what I wanted to do with it. A little bit janky in terms of how it went together, but you know, it looked like the part, sort of. But then I updated that once more, kind of made it look like that, and painted it with a permanent marker, hoping to maybe make it real one day with a bunch of explosions and stuff. But we'll see when I actually get time to make something like this. But it is a pretty nifty little device, and yes, I will add the explosions to it. That is kind of why we're building this, isn't it? For the explosions, right?
Cool.
Alright, I am making a badminton racket holder. And then we're gonna have badminton shuttlecocks. A nice dispenser right here.
Oh,
Do you like the plans, bro?
sounds good to me. If this is off by a millimeter,
There it is, I guess.
whole company falls apart. Whole company.
Guess I better move it up a millimeter. Kinda works pretty good. So you might be wondering, why is one long? Because this is for all the other rackets. So like, this is my racket. This is Ian's racket. Bogdan's racket can go here. The number 4 best racket player can go here.
That's me.
Whoever that may be, I don't know.
That's me.
It's you?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yep.
Then we'll have all the shuttlecocks right here. Number 3. No, you can go right there.
What do you mean? I have beat you in every game. You've never won a game against me, James.
Tell me how this racket came to exist.
Well, I didn't want to run around the court, so I decided maybe I could just play from the middle of the court. But it's a bit harder than I thought.
What's your racket of choice, Chris?
Frisbee.
Give me the stats.
It's like 3.
3
3 out of 10.
Oh.
It does this though.
Ben, what's your racket of choice?
Extendo racket. You ready, Chris?
Kobe. Oh! He has mastered the long racket.
I can reach the entire court.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Look at that. You could just play for the other team. That's not legal though. You're touching the net. You can't touch it. Yeah, there we go. This is probably legal, right? Who knows rules?
Well, this coffee machine likes to give us a lot of warning signals and tell us when things need to be done, like empty the bean dispenser, ground thing, and all that nonsense. Which is like a totally normal thing and a totally fine thing, but it won't let you pour coffee until you do those things. So here I am trying to clean it, and I'm pretty much doing the equivalent of troubleshooting this really good coffee machine.
This is what you get for drinking coffee.
Oh yeah, there really was an overflow.
Yeah,
It was like overflow detected.
yeah, it's usually that one.
Moment of truth here. Does this every time. You know, I'll spice it up with the house blend. How's that sound?
So what coffee did you choose and why?
The good old faithful house blend. Because the house always wins.
Congrats on being the first episode of Morning Coffee.
What a letdown.
We now turn to the preparations to reopen as the stay-at-home order will be lifted in some regions of Ontario this coming week. That includes Waterloo region as we move into the red zone on Tuesday.
We're back. We're back with more iterations of the sword. Last time you guys saw all these swords. We're done with that stuff though. So we're gonna move on to the blue squad over here, which starts with version 5. So version 5 was a bit more elaborate, let's say. So version 6 has the slidey feature, which was nice. Things were actually going together correctly. Version 7, I decided to go crazy and just printed it really big, but it worked really well. You could actually do this with some inertia. This is the idea here of can we do this with just inertia itself. As you can see, it doesn't lock in place, but a little bit of a proof of concept with that. In version 8, I don't actually know what I changed in this, but it was just slight design changes to make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Then after version 8, I just thought size was a bit of a concern, so we went a little bit crazy and made this. Oh my God, I shouldn't break anything here. Oh God, this is gonna kill me, isn't it? This was just the little guy over here, scaled up, laser cut out.
Why is it on fire?
To actually see if we could build this to the full scale, and all things said and done, it actually worked pretty well. It's got some locking mechanisms here to keep the blades in place, and then the axe comes down just like that. It also locks in place at the bottom, and then there's this nice channel that wasn't hand cut out for sure, and then the sword comes down. Oh God. The next steps are essentially to see if we can make this partially out of some sort of metal, thinking steel, like a steel veneer. Find out how to actually lock them in position and maybe add some fireworks to it per se. I think with all the iterations at this point, I've established a good line for prototyping. Again, as I mentioned before, this has been something that has been more prototype than anything. Like, this is literally version 9, so I'm hoping that I can potentially make this real in the future. I think this is a good prototype, good start, but really gonna have to take it to the next level to get everything working. But it's like, it's there, the concept is there. It just has to be polished off a little bit. Maybe 1 or 2 more iterations, and then we could be there with a real working version.
You guys have been asking for it, and believe it or not, we've been listening. This is the way.
Before we press record on the camera, there's usually a couple things that we want to do to make sure that everybody's on the same page for an episode. So today what we're doing is we're just going through the script for the Mandalorian episode called Rifle Mouse Droid. And what that is basically we're just going to do a read through between everyone who's heavily involved in the project. Make sure, I wrote the script, so I got to make sure that everything I wrote makes sense from an engineering perspective and things like that, so we need their opinions on the script. So we do a read through and we make changes on the fly as we go. And then if everything's all good after that, we make our plan and start scheduling how to shoot this script.
What's happening here, Daryl?
We're shooting the intros and outros for a bunch of the episodes of the Mandalorian series. So James is just going through his lines and we're about to move on to the next few. There's like nothing on it.
Welcome to Chapter 5 of our Mandalorian series. Over the past month, my team and I at Hacksmith Industries have been piecing together our
Very own Mandalorian suit.
We just shot all the footage from the intro, so the next steps are to take it and import it onto our computer or onto the server, and then we can start building a timeline of those clips and sequences of each section of our story of our build. So a video kind of looks like this. It's got, you got your teaser, you got your intro, you got your parts section, and then we got like a backplate, torches, mounting, control board, cover. So it'd be like design, build, beauties, test. So our story's kind of divided up, and then that kind of is what makes our video. We kind of split it into sections and then piece them all together.
So you've seen how the editors plan their videos. Now, let's give you a shot of what us engineers do for the videos. So you may have seen this Beskar ingot that we made here. James made some posts on our Instagram page. Make sure to follow us there. What this is just a piece of standard Damascus steel that we have on our Tormach CNC machine engraved the Imperial logo on to look like the Beskar ingots do from the show. After seeing this, James said, hey, we could replace this with a Hacksmith logo and try to sell a couple of those in our store as a limited production run. So, because I'm our resident CNC programmer, that's my job. The first part of the process is to draw up the design in SolidWorks. I've done that already. And now the next step is going to be to design the tool paths in SolidWorks CAM. Because our logo is quite small and intricate, I had to use some pretty small end mills. So I had to buy a 50,000th of an inch and a 20,000th of an inch end mill. For reference, the normal size end mill we use is 1/4 of an inch. That's anywhere between 5 to 10 times the size of the ones that I bought for this project. Once I've designed the CAD model and I import it into the CAM software, which in this case is built into SolidWorks, it's all fairly automatic. I just select the faces that I want. So for this feature, I just selected this bottom face. It knew where the top of the part was. I'm gonna use the 50,000th of an inch end mill to machine out a pattern that looks like this. If we just kind of watch it play, actually simulate it and you can see the tool. Looks kind of cool. So this is how the tool is actually gonna be cutting. It's gonna be doing this except for way, way slower. This tool path on its own is about an hour long. And then after that, we're gonna be running the 20,000th of an inch tool, so the slightly smaller one, to get into all the corners and make the shape exactly how we want it. The tool path that it generates is not intuitive for us as humans, but every single little bit of this tool path is optimized to go as quickly as possible and to save the tool for as long as possible. So as I mentioned before, the tools that I'm using are absolutely tiny. One might almost say microscopic. These are by far the smallest tools I've ever machined with. These are some 2-flute solid carbide end mills. So that's why they have this like grayish tinge to them. They have a titanium-based coating on them to make it slip by a little bit better and generate less heat against the Damascus steel. I don't know why anyone would ever need a tool that small, but they sell them and they cost about 60 bucks. So since I'm machining with things this small, I have to be very careful to make sure that everything is perfect. My zeroing has to be directly on the corner. My tool lengths have to be perfectly set, because if things are out by even a single thousandth of an inch, we're going to be using a lot more of the tool than we bargained for. So I'm double checking all my numbers, letting the machine check everything for me, and hopefully it should be good. So I'm just loading in a scrap piece of Damascus steel that we have to test machine. So this program is supposed to take an hour to work, so I guess we'll come back then and see how it went. So after a couple hours of machining, I think it's done. We didn't break any bits on this one, so that's a pretty good sign. Let's come take a look. I'm glad I'm able to machine this. This is going to be an awesome prop to have around for our Mandalorian series and just to put in our display room.
This is the way.
Well, that's some of the fun shenanigans that happen here at Hacksmith Industries. We hope you enjoyed this vlog, and please comment below about what you want to see more of, what you don't want to see as much of, and don't forget to check out hacksmith.store.